So UFC Magny versus Prates just wrapped up, and the card was actually really good. There was a lot of finishes. Only 3 out of the 11 fights went to decision, and the main event went exactly how I thought it was going to go. Magny got decimated with a quick finish in the first round. I mean, he kind of gave Prates a little trouble in the first, making him be a little plotty for a while, but he landed the shot he needed to, and Magny went down. It was like a slight land on the temple, barely even landed clean, and still just put him out. So much power Prates has. Started the night off with Melissa Dixon, or Mullins, whatever her last name is, getting a TKO finish over Claudia. And it was actually, I guess it was a good finish. I was surprised the women actually started the night off with a finish. It's rare to see, especially low-level women's MMA. The top of it, they get finishes, but low-level, you really never see it. But Melissa was able to get the takedown like halfway through the second round. Kind of plotty. She didn't really do much the whole first half of the first round. But then she was able to get Claudia down, land some ground and pound, and she carried that momentum into the second, doing the same thing except landing a good shot, having Claudia just wilt and cover up. And it was probably the slowest, most least vicious TKO I've ever seen in my life. Just so many unanswered shots, but they were doing so little damage, the ref wouldn't stop it until like 50, it felt like had landed. So good finish, but I don't think she's that good. And she breakdanced after winning. I guess that was cool. Then to Shawn Gore, got a crazy vicious submission, very similar to how his last win went. Like the same exact type of standing guillotine, just latched it up. Honestly, it wasn't even set up well. It was just Tricoli fucking shot a takedown, stuffed his head in right into the guillotine, and that dude is such a vicious submission artist. He has such a crazy ass squeeze with his buff ass body, and yeah, he just squeezed and the guy tapped. It was that easy. He's huge for this division, and he definitely looked it in there. Started the fight off with just an immediate strength-based takedown, just picked him up and threw him down easily. Tricoli got up, and they just fought. The takedowns just clinched a little bit. Not really much striking went on. And then until he got the submission win. Really good win. I don't know if I said this was how he'd get it done, but I said he'd win by finish. So I went pretty good in predictions in this card. I went like 8-2. So a lot of fights I predicted got canceled, though. This card kind of fell apart, and it still ended up being good, so that was cool. I can see Shawn beating a lot of people in the UFC right now. I don't think the welterweight, like, low-level roster is that good, so, I mean, you could see him in the rankings one day, maybe. We'll see. He's big for the division, so, yeah. As long as he stays active, he'll definitely get up there. This was his first fight in 2 years, so let's hope he stays more active than that. And we had another first-round submission by Deone Blackshear, submitting Cody Stamann with a rear naked choke. Dude, this card was insane. 2 back-to-back. Like, this whole finish streak on the prelims was crazy. It was so fun to watch. Especially because a lot of these fights matter, too. Like, these guys are good. I mean, a lot of low-level guys, not in the rankings yet, but they have potential. I mean, a lot of them have a lot of losses, so I don't know. A lot of people just like to shit on them. Started off with just trading 1-2s and trading leg kicks until Deone just rushed into the clinch, landed a crazy flying knee that rocked Cody, and then he was able to put a few more hands on him and dropped him. Latched up a submission right away, a fucking gilly, and he had his whole body weight crushing Cody's neck, and this dude was just not tapped. Really strong will there, but it didn't really matter because he scrambled out of it finally after like a minute straight of just squeezing it. He held on, but then they scrambled, and he was able to get his back and get a choke even tighter right on the neck. So he was forced to tap. Cody, I mean, he looked more powerful in there. He looked like the more powerful one, but he just wasn't able to put it together and didn't really mix in the takedowns because Blackshear is a good grappler as well, so I don't really think he had the option to. Then Charles Radke KO'd Matthew Semelsberger with a vicious just exchange on the feet. Just rocked him early. I think the finish was only like 50 seconds into the fight. So, yeah, showed his power, showed his will, really good there. Matthew's tough, and he came in with the beard. I was like, who the fuck is this Viking? The beard added so much aura. I was like, oh, my pick's going to go right. No, okay, he got absolutely flatlined. Just could not handle Charles' power, his size for the division. Charles is good, but I guess, I don't know. I was kind of a lot lower on him after that Prates loss, but obviously it's not that bad of aging of a loss. Prates is a fucking killer, so you can't really knock him for that loss. And yeah, he looked good. Really, I mean, I don't really think his boxing's that skilled, but his defense is decent, and he has decent power for the division, so... Yeah, and he's not even a striker. He's like a jiu-jitsu guy, isn't he? So he's pretty well-rounded. I could see him going decently far. He's very, like, just pissed off and salty all the time. Just add him to the salt mines with Jamal. And yeah, he looked good, but on the mic, he fucking went heel, and then he started crying. He just went emotional. He just going all over the place with emotions. He's a cool guy, but... And we had Ilizu Zalowski dos Santos get a stoppage over Scoggins. Unfortunate. Nick, like, Dalby or whatever his name is, pulled out. This was super short notice. This guy wasn't in the UFC before. They just gave him a fight. I don't know how this shit works when they just give these guys these opportunities. Did he get a contract? Did he get this one fight? And it's like, dude, if you lose, you're out. If you win, you're in. I don't know how that shit works when they call these guys in super short notice like this. Just like, we need a fight. We need a guy. You want to fucking have a shot in the UFC, kid? And yeah, he kind of just got bullied. He got completely just destroyed. It was sad. He looked really good. His leg kicks looked good. He looked fast. He looked big. He was way bigger, but it did not matter. Got KO'd in like the first minute. I think it was the first significant strike that landed. He just wilted immediately, covered up. You can't do that, man. You can't cover up when you're hurt. You gotta fucking fake it. Because Ilizu knew he hurt him bad instantly. He just wasn't ready for the UFC yet. He may never be. Unfortunate. It's the hard truth, all right? We're getting a lot of cuts recently. A lot of sad times for a lot of sad fighters. It's unfortunate, man. But this fucking sport, this business is, like, it's cutthroat. They don't give a fuck. If you're either here to win and put on exciting fights, or you lose and you get cut. It's the reality. Then we finally had the first decision. Oh, what do you know? It's the women. I'm sorry. Hey, it's just the proof is in the fucking pudding, all right? They broke the streak. Come on, guys. Especially with Denise Gomez being hyped up as this power puncher who trains with men. Shut the fuck up, all right? She'd get decimated. But she looked good still. I mean, her power was still there. It was still evident she's a power puncher, but not this crazy newfound woman's power we've never seen before. His striking looked good, though. Her grappling looked good as well. She was trying to grapple way too much. She should have just stuck to the boxing. She shouldn't have engaged in the clinching that Carolina was engaging in. And, yeah, good performance, but I feel like she could have finished her if she just went for it more. I feel like she was fighting this fight to go to decision in her mind very early on, especially, which I thought she'd try to get the finish. But still a good fight. Nah, it wasn't that good of a fight. It was all right, but not really much damage happened in this fight. I mean, Carolina was able to mix in some takedowns and land some ground and pound and get some success in the clinch. But other than that, not too much. And we had Mansour Abdul Malik get a TKO. Just brutal TKO. Dude, Dusco took so much fucking damage. So many crazy hard hammer fists just raining down. It was bad because this dude he was getting dropped. He was getting pushed over after getting damaged so much in the feet. And then he was just going for fucking heel hooks and leg locks. I don't understand. I mean, he was low-key close to one, but the chance you get one of them in MMA is so fucking low. It's not going to work, man. And you're just getting rained down upon with everything Mansour has, because he doesn't have to worry about anything. He can just rain down shots as hard as he wants while you pull on his leg. It's just doing nothing. So it was a free finish, basically. Mansour stays undefeated, looks really good. He was definitely ready for the UFC. Pretty big guy, really powerful, pretty fast. His technique looked all right. Pretty low level in reality. We'll see where he goes, but because Dusco, whatever, he's just not that good. He's probably going to get cut after this. He's super tough, has a really good chin, but other than that, yeah, he just can't really strike with the best of them, and his grappling his submissions look decent off his back, and his jiu-jitsu's up there in skill, but other than that, not much he just doesn't really have many tools to actually win the fight. You know, he loses in the striking. He really can't get subs. You know, he's just really tough. Then we had Jillian Robertson beat Lana Piero. And yeah, this was a pretty bad fight. I mean, it wasn't that fun to watch. Jillian just outclassed her with the grappling, was able to get takedowns in every single round. I'd say there's an argument she lost the first round, give that to Piero, but she won the next two pretty dominantly. Probably won the first as well. It was pretty dominant. She fucking elbowed her right in the asshole. I have to say it. I saw Jamal tweet about it too. A lot of fans noticed that shit. At like the last second on the bell, she just like they were like fucking scrambled and folded up on each other. One of them backwards, obviously. Y'all know. Had her ass up and she just fucking elbows her right in the asshole. Like, what the fuck? That's gotta be illegal. Probably hurt bad, but yeah, pretty good win, I guess. She was disappointed she didn't get a finish, so hopefully that means she gets some finishes in her future. She looked good. She looked strong. She looked masculine. So yeah, decent performance. And we had Gastelum Balanos have a pretty good performance. This was pretty impressive. He kind of just out-gas tanked Cortavius here. I think that was really what it came down to. Just Cortavius, he's decent, you know, pretty good takedowns, pretty good at dragging people down to the ground and getting their backs, but he can't really do much with it. He can't really do much damage with it. He couldn't get the sub, couldn't really even get close to one in reality. So not the best performance by him. He definitely won the first round, I'd say, but he lost the next two pretty dominantly. Balanos just was eating him alive with them leg kicks. Every leg kick he threw was landing and hurt him because he just didn't know how to deal with them. Just was letting them land, marching forward, acting tough. You gotta, I don't know, you gotta fucking move out the way. You gotta counter. You gotta check it. I don't know. You gotta do something about those kicks because he was landing the calf kick and the body kicks, the head kicks at will. They couldn't miss. He was on fire tonight. He looked really good. He looked really happy about it. Dedicated to his father. Dedicated the win to his father as well. That was cool. Then we had GM3, good old Unk, Gerald Mir Shark, lose by submission to Riner de Ritter. This was a pretty good fight. If you hate jiu-jitsu, you hate grappling, you hated it. It was literally 90% grappling. Riner he couldn't really compete on the feet. He didn't really even give it a shot, really. I don't know. I kind of missed the first half of the first round, so maybe he did, but he didn't really have much success with it because he did not do it later in the fight. Yeah, just crazy high-ass level grappling. Just such high level. These guys were scrambling, getting each other's backs, fucking rolling out of it. It was just so insane. Both of them countering, constantly thinking of what's next. Grappling is entertaining if it's like that. If they both are high level and they actually struggle to get the sub and they get out of it and they get close to it and they get out of it and they go back and forth, and yeah, this was just such a really good fight. And Riner actually got the finish. He did end up winning, you know, good for him because, you know, you come to make a statement when you join the UFC after, like, dominating in other divisions. Everyone's like, oh, you can't hang in the UFC, the top. You were just fighting bums before. So you kind of have to win your debut in that position, in that situation to fucking tell the fans to shut the fuck up. That ain't right, all right? I'm ready for the UFC, and I beat a crafty vet. Yeah, it was really late into the fight. Usually Gerald is the one getting those late fight where they're both really gassed, and he just has a little bit left. He's usually the one to get those crazy late submissions, but he just slightly got out scrambled, slightly got out grappled, and yeah, Reiner's really high level in the grappling, really good jiu-jitsu guy, really good submission artist. We knew that, though. We knew that's what he was labeled as, advertised as, so yeah, I'm excited to see him fight again. Pretty good fight. Then we had the main event. By the way, why the fuck does Prates have a CP chain? Dude, what the fuck? Someone's got to tell him to get his middle initial added or some shit, because a CP chain is insane. He don't know, I guess, because Brazilian. Yeah, okay. Just get that changed, all right? But the fight was really good. I mean, it was only a round, so it was only as good as it was going to be. Exactly how I said it was going to go. Exactly how everyone thought it was going to go. Yeah, Magny got finished again by a fucking up-and-coming prospect contender. Yeah, man, it sucks. It sucks to be him just getting everyone fed to you, because especially it keeps happening over and over again. So it's just like, that's what happens now. Everyone expects it. So he just can't get easy matchups. It's not fair. I know he's in the rankings and he has to challenge himself, but he'll probably be out of the rankings soon. Let's just say that. Magny wasn't even able to get Prates down one time, not even a single time. If fucking Prates actually reversed a takedown and got Magny down and had him on top position on him for a little bit, but I was instantly not worried. I was like, get out of his guard, bro. He's a good submission artist. He has good submissions. He can submit you. So, and he was going for some shit, and Prates pulled out of his guard. It was like, get up on the feet. This is my world. You know, I'm gonna knock you out, and he did. He landed a shot that wasn't even that clean. Hit his temple. And Prates called out fucking Jack Della Maddalena on the mic, which is a very ambitious call out, obviously. He's very high up in the rankings. He's not going to get that matchup. But hey, Umar got Sandhagen after being like ranked 12, so maybe he fucking will. We'll see. Then he also said if he realized that was a bit ambitious, so he then called it. But he did it because he wants to fight on the Australian card. It makes sense. He's really trying to just slip in there and just take Jack Della Maddalena's ranking spot, and then just be fighting for a title basically after maybe one more win. Yeah, it's a smart plan. But then he said a more realistic name. He said Jeff Neal. Just kind of what you got to do at welterweight. You got to beat both the Neals, both the fucking Magny and Jeff. You got to beat both of them to get a title shot, I guess, or get in the top 5. It's crazy, you know. It's kind of boring. Each welterweight prospect just goes through the same shit, and a lot of them fail because it's a tough test. So yeah, man, I'm so happy because if Prates got fraud checked, dude, like, how the fuck are we supposed to believe in prospects anymore? But no, the Fighting Nerds won again. They stay undefeated. The GOATs. The Fighting Nerds are taking over. They're so goated, man. I love the glasses. It's so funny. Sometimes you just come up with a good idea, and that shit works if you go with it. And that shit is the Fighting Nerds. Let's go. Really good card. It wasn't on paper, but it ended up being really good on actual fight night. Okay, so yeah, that's the card. Broke every fight down. I went good on predictions, so I was happy. But my parlay did not hit. I was sad. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.